Coming up, it's another day and another round of WWE releases. We've got the full rundown of which wrestlers were released, reactions from the wrestling world, and the real reason for them, plus even more news. So subscribe so we can keep you up to date on all of your wrestling news. Go on. Now you want to.
Support WrestleTalk!
Remember the 4th of November. Strap in, folks, because WWE has only gone and done it again, haven't they? Because just ahead of their third quarter earnings call yesterday, there were some rumblings that a new batch of releases were on the way from the likes of WrestleVotes and Sean Ross Sapp. Unlike in their regular booking, where they would have swerved those expectations, the releases came from WWE instead and saw stars from across NXT and the main roster given the old heave-ho. A large portion of the releases were from the women's division with Scarlett Bordeaux, Frankie Monet, Ember Moon, B-Fab, which is just crazy to me, Jessica Maya, Zayda Ramier, Katrina Cortez, Mia Yim, Eva Marie, and Nia Jax being let go. Over on the men's side, Trey Baxter, Jeet Rama, Oni Lorcan, Lindsay Dorado, and Gran Metalik were among the names, and bafflingly, so was Harry Smith, aka Davey Boy Smith Jr., who had that one dark match on SmackDown, Karrion Kross, and Keith Lee. Which, when combined with the releases from earlier this year, takes us into the region of over 60 names having been released from WWE. And obviously Zelina Vega went and she came back, so adjust that number accordingly. Now, WWE hasn't confirmed any of these releases, but plenty of the stars in question have posted on Twitter about the situation. Lots of heartbreak emoji. And as always now, it's just frustrating to look at the level of talent that WWE has let go and boggle your mind as you try to work out the catch-22 they put people like Keith Lee in, because Keith comes to NXT and after a period where not much happens, he suddenly gets the push and the character development he needed. Suddenly, he's facing down Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble or going toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns. He's a double champion in NXT, and then he hits the main roster. They changed the look, they changed the music, they toned down the athletics, all in an attempt to fit a mold not exactly designed for a unique athlete like Keith Lee, attempting to limit the limitless. So then when the releases happen, it feels like in WWE's head they're like, well, he didn't get over enough. And you think, yeah, because you didn't give him the tools to succeed. Right, anyway, we've got more on this in a second, but we've got a word from Ollie really quickly from today's sponsor, which was obviously filmed and scheduled into this news before the release news broke.
Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this episode's sponsor, Gemstone Legends. And this is a very special sponsorship, as it's to launch an incredible contest for new players, where if you download Gemstone Legends using our links below, the person with the highest XP score come the 19th of November will win either an iPhone 13 Pro or a Samsung Galaxy 21 Plus. So get started right now, you're missing out on valuable XP time. But first, what is Gemstone Legends? It's one of the coolest new puzzle RPG games of 2021, where you match gems to defeat evil enemies on your quest to stop the Cataclysm. What's great about Gemstone Legends is that it's not just about matching gems in lines and diagonally, but that you can also level up your band of heroes and equip them with better artifacts, meaning you're constantly tweaking and upgrading how you play. A mechanic I love because it makes the whole experience much deeper and sophisticated. Also, you get pet dragons. Who's a good dragon? Yes, you're a good dragon. You're the best little dragon. Now go torch those enemies! And don't just take my word for it. Take ratings. Gemstone Legends has 4.5 stars on the Android store and almost 5 on iOS. I'm sure it's smashing the 18 to 49 demographics too. Come find me in-game under my nickname, The Crab, then I can torch you too. So download Gemstone Legends now by clicking the link in the video description below or by scanning my fancy QR code on screen now. When new players will automatically start taking part in the smartphone contest. Visit the contest website for more details. Also, by using our special links, new players will get a super bonus worth $50 with the epic hero Marilia once you complete the tutorial. Please do at least check out Gemstone Legends using our link in the video description below, because not only will you have a load of fun and be entered into a great competition, every click also helps support us here at WrestleTalk. Gemstone that gemstone.
Just to hop right back in where we left off, because I am still not over it, even if we disregard Keith Lee for a moment, which I don't ever really want to do, Keith, I love you, saying that he doesn't necessarily fit some sort of WWE archetype. Then what about Karrion Kross? Because he has the exact look a great gimmick, great promos and in-ring work that really feels like a WWE thing, to the point that people were talking about fast-tracking him. And he hits the main roster. They immediately stripped away everything that made him interesting, dressed him up as a gimp, and then marched him out of the door like his safe word was quarterly earnings. And what is frustrating as a fan is that WWE's habit of releasing people over the last 2 years actively makes it harder to invest in anyone. This feeling that no one is safe that we talked about in yesterday's news doesn't breed confidence in the product. Like with Karrion Kross, where he lost to Jeff Hardy and everyone got cross about it, they told us to let it play out like there was a plan. Do you see evidence of a plan? I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who are pundits and fans who feel similarly, but there are some people out there who've been through this and have a piece to say, like Leo Rush, who wrote on Twitter, something's got to give. Things need to change. It's unhealthy, it's toxic, it's soul-snatching, it's embarrassing, it's ruining lives, it's crushing hopes and dreams, it's contributing to mental health struggles. We're living in a world full of facades, but the damages are real. Instead, Mustafa Ali tried to stay positive, saying, "I believe in you," and Paige simply said, "Well, that sucks." While FTR's Dax Harwood said, "I wish WCW would have won." No, you don't, because Hogan would still be the champion. But I think it was Renee Paquette who put it best, saying, "That's a list of stars. They'll be just fine wherever they land." And I do think that's kind of the key takeaway here, because for a lot of these stars, WWE was never necessarily going to do more with them than they were already doing. So while this may be a bit of a slap in the face right now, long term, this might actually be for the best for a lot of people. But what, I hear you ask, could possibly be the reason for this latest round of releases? Surely it couldn't be the third quarter earnings report. Well, it is an oldie, but a goodie. And by goodie, I mean a according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, because he said John Laurinaitis cited budget cuts as the reason for the departures in an email. Because a little before the news of the releases hit, WWE announced its third quarter earnings, revealing a company revenue of $255.8 million, which is a 15% increase on last year's Q3, due to higher ticket sales and to a lesser extent venue merchandise sales, resulting from the company's return to ticketed live events. Now, the previous financial results report from Q2 revealed the company revenue to be $265.6 million for the second quarter, so they made marginally less this quarter. But the numbers generally are going up. They are turning a profit, which inevitably brings back the talk of WWE readying themselves for some sort of potential sale. This has been much speculated on, as companies tend to try to maximize their profits before a sale, and one good way of doing that is streamlining personnel. Now, there's no reliable news about that though, but it's something to bear in mind, and a kind of, I guess, cold comfort to the idea that they've once again released a bunch of people that we all liked. Well, it's just business, and business is a big old bastard. And we just need to thank the Vindicator Finn Brennan and the Cyclone Brandon Sires for their support on Patreon. Thanks, guys. Though, that may not be the only reason some of the talent released yesterday were let go. Because according to a report in the New York Post, one of the reasons that Nia Jax was released is because she isn't vaccinated. Now, Fightful followed up on this news and reported that at least 5 of the release names were openly unvaccinated, and the list includes some very surprising names, which we of course won't be speculating on. Fightful was told that the vaccination status of any one star was not the exclusive reason they were let go, it was just a contributing factor, I guess, to the cons column when weighing up the decision. Now, obviously, in an environment like wrestling where there's a lot of close quarters contact, being unvaccinated puts yourself and others at risk from contracting COVID-19. Plus, you have to imagine the business side of things. With a return to touring globally, having everyone vaccinated means you are just more likely to be covered to perform in any country under any restrictions. And before we get out of here, just time to pick up on another tidbit from the earnings call, which comes across quite smug, really, when you know the whole slew of releases were coming later in the day. During the call, WWE President Nick Khan was asked how he feels the rebrand of NXT has gone thus far. It's a thumbs down from me. Via Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics on Twitter, Nick had this to say. Nick says, "We think it's all started the way we wanted it to start. Already seeing some talent elevated to the main roster. Recruiting efforts, spearheaded by Paul Levesque and Bruce Pritchard, are focused on young athletes. And the athletes may not be in the quote-unquote wrestling space." Yeah, really good job, guys. Some people were elevated, weren't they? Karrion Kross went up. Hit Row went up, didn't they? How many members of the Hit Row are there? And also, at the rate that they're releasing people, I feel like WWE isn't going to quote-unquote be in the wrestling space for that much longer, when their roster is just Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins with John Cena twice a year. Essentially, we're at a really weird time right now because WWE has let an entire roster's worth of people go in the past year, plus they've potentially got a few people quietly seeing out their contracts before they also hightail it out of there too. So what WWE's roster looks like in a year's time is going to be really, really fascinating. Thank you for watching. Please remember to download Gemstone Legends using our links below or the QR code that is on screen now, where you could win an iPhone 13 Pro.
It seems like there's multiverses.
Yes.
And we've seen Doc Ock, yeah, everything is coming together. Yes, very excited. Quantum Leap, compulsory reference. However, maybe Tom Holland just got a new suit.
But looks exactly the same as the Tokyo.
Yes!
No, that can't be by accident.